Week 6 of the AVP League brings us to Oceanside, California. Another picture-perfect sunny Southern California day at Frontwave Arena, a brand new arena that has been the perfect venue for this Week 6 action. 4 matches on tap for you today on a Sunday. The Dallas Dream entering the arena first. Kylie Deberg, Hailey, Harward on the women's side. And the top men's team, Andy Benish and Miles Partain, who will be in action coming up next. Deberg and Harward trying to continue to add to that team's success and their dreams of a championship weekend appearance. On the other side, the LA Launch enter a critical Sunday where Betsi, Flint, Julia Scoles, Tim Baumgren, and Troy Field must win. They absolutely have to come up with the victories if they hope to participate in a few weeks' time. Our standings with the New York Nitro on top. They are already guaranteed of participating in Los Angeles for our finale in November. The rest is all TBD, and a big part of that will happen today. Some clarity coming your way. Welcome inside, everybody. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympic gold medalist Rich Lamborn. Okay, Rich, the LA Launch must have the victory here. The men's side is a pretty big ask. This one is the easier of the two. Why?
Well, I think consistency, as always, is the factor in these matches, right? We saw an unbelievable match from Julia Scoles, Betsi Flint last night against the gold medalists, Alex and April. If they can maintain that level of consistency, they can get a critical win for their LA Launch team. You saw the standings, 6-4 versus 4-6, and they're gonna need both of these, like you said.
It was 15-13 in the first set against the A team, and then a 15-8 blowout. Do they continue that momentum in this one? We'll see. Mark Sherman is set to get the players on the sand.
Our first matchup here on Sunday at Frontwave Arena. Let's meet the teams first for the Dallas Dream. Wearing the number 1, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, the defender out of USC. Please welcome Hailey Harward. And her partner wearing the number 2, standing 6 feet 4 inches tall, the blocker out of Louisiana State University, it's Kylie Deberg. And their opponents, the LA Launch, wearing the number 1, the 5'10" defender out of LMU, Betsi Flint. And wearing the number 2, standing 6 feet tall out of USC, it's Julia Scoles.
A couple of the best young net defenders in the game in this one, about to encounter a showdown. Deberg versus Scoles in our best of 3 sets, all played to 15. You have to win by 2, a single timeout as we go through this first of 4 matches. Hailey Harward back to serve for the Dream. They'll attack Flint, the veteran. Harward digs that one too tight, and the redirect will go to Julia Scoles, who tends Rich Lamborn to play a lot bigger than her height, her roster height would suggest.
Yeah, absolutely. We were watching some of the yoga poses during warm-up, just astounded at not only the strength but the flexibility, and that really shows in her game and the power she can generate.
Hey, she's going to give away 4 inches at the net, but you're not really going to know it. Except on that play, perhaps. Okay.
Yeah, when Kylie can do the stand and push on the joust, it is very hard to combat that.
Yeah, Kylie Deberg at 6'4" can be an incredible force to the net, getting her way out of that bad situation. The now 25-year-old who went to Illinois, Missouri, and then LSU Beach. She has a jump serve. It is a big weapon. Scoles flies in and knuckles over the top. Julia Scoles out of North Carolina. This all kind of showcasing the nationwide aspect of women's volleyball.
Yeah, it is becoming a cross-country sport these days, particularly on the women's side. Typically thought of as kind of a West Coast thing. Good run down there from Betsi. Can she pay it off? Oh, yes, she can. Not an easy task to get it by Deberg and past Harward as well.
3-1. Little middle.
Yeah, right up the middle. Usually a pretty good option.
Mentioned the scores yesterday for Scoles, who's serving now, and Betsi Flint, that dominant 15-8 performance in the second set and a sweep. They were out of here in record time as that ball finds the back line. It was 3 sets for Deberg and Harward. They won the first 15-12. Looked really good doing it. Hit well over 650. And then they dumped the second set 15-12 and then 15-11 to the Brooklyn Blaze. That's Therese Cannon and Meg Kraft.
And we kind of talked about it, Kev, at the top of the broadcast. Consistency is something that's just eluded them a little bit. They came out on top of the Miami Mayhem's Alex and April once this season, but dropped all their other matches thus far. So they've got flashes of brilliance, but can they maintain it? That's going to be the task here against this good Dallas Dream team. LA Launch team.
Harward backs up, comes forward, hits it right to Flint. Flint right side, tracking towards the net and knuckling deep out of reach of Harward.
Yeah, how about the precision on that knuckle from Betsi Flint? Surgical.
She'll cut you.
Yeah. Never want your surgeon to be using a blunt instrument like a knuckle, but still very precise with that one, Betsi.
Serving down the middle, Harward takes it. Difficult swing. And she makes it look easy.
Yeah, that was a tremendous set from Kylie Deberg as well, rolling that up from deep in the court.
Going for that jump serve, had a couple of aces last night, and there's another one.
Right on cue, Kev. I mean, that has some power. I know our co-worker Casey Patterson mentioned it. There's just no upward trajectory on anything she hits. It just starts at the top of her hand and just goes straight down to the court.
The Andy Benish style of attack, and it's back-to-back aces issued by Deberg. I'll tell you what, we talked last night about what this team might need looking towards next year. There's a huge amount left. They are nowhere near their ceiling.
Yeah, of course, and we've talked about the consistency factor. You're seeing all the skills they have on display. That one just barely missing, but that weapon, Kylie Deberg's at the service line, and then of course the defensive prowess of Hailey Harward running around. They're going to create a lot of scoring opportunities as a team.
That one put in the net by Scoles.
We haven't seen a whole lot of service errors out of her. Some great serving. You wonder sometimes when someone like Kylie Deberg goes back and cracks a couple, if you try and go for a little extra when it's your turn to serve. It's kind of the equivalent of playing with a big hitter in golf. You try and swing out of your shoes a little bit too much.
There is Harward tracking down one of those shots. Scoles turning and stopped. She'll get a second chance here. Very difficult, and it is put back by Deberg, who is really showing you everything about her potential here in the first set.
Yeah, really good discipline as well. Knowing that Julia doesn't have a ton of range, you can see no approach. She just kind of goes up big, presses the hand straight over, and gets that stuff.
Short serve on Scoles, making her work hard.
Woo! That is a lot of power generated out of very little approach, Kevin.
Julia Scoles, 6 feet tall, 27 years old, partners with the veteran here, Betsi Flint, now 32. Mom of Cora. They were headed to the park this morning. So she's already been out, hit the slides, maybe the swings, and now on court. Let's go down to Casey Patterson, Olympian and the third member of our team.
The smoothest hands on tour by far, best court vision. That's Rich and I's vote for sure. Rad match last night, goes 3. how do we recover from yesterday to going into today?
You know, I think we have a lot of good takeaways from yesterday, and yeah. Thanks for, by the way, because your hands left the tour, you know, maybe I can compete, but we had a lot of good takeaways from yesterday, you know, a couple things to kind of learn from and try and clean up today. Obviously, a really good squad we're playing today, so nothing to lose, leave it all in the court, and let's just go have some fun. That's when we're playing our best, so.
I love it. That's what I would have said if I was still in your box as the coach.
Yeah.
And just like get the reign of Troy. Like, hey, fun stuff on one, but then also side out the line shot maybe is the safer bet versus the get stuff straight down.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Yeah.
All right, Casey is roaming around courtside. Timeout taken off the Dallas Dream, going +2 here at 9-7, and blocking again. A big part of Kylie Deberg's first set.
Yeah, it's kind of been all Deberg in this first set, right? From the service line, and she's been patrolling up there at the net. A couple joust plays that looked like an LA launch advantage that Kylie Deberg was able to just flip on them with her size and length.
Couple aces, 3 blocks. Yeah, that'll do.
That's a good stat line before 10.
Yeah, in one set, exactly. 10 before 10 in the very first set, as our Oceanside crew is enjoying getting some free stuff. Good to see the folks out here coming out for Frontwave Arena. Really beautiful new arena, perfect for this type of event, very intimate type. You can get VIP access to our upcoming events in Anaheim, Dallas, and then the championships in LA. And that VIP access, you are down courtside. Casey Patterson's down there. The upcoming athletes are down there. You are really a part of the event on the professional side when you're at VIP.
You can grab a brew, you can grab a cocktail, you can grab some nachos, and you could maybe grab a little sideline interview with the likes of Casey Patterson.
Or Rich Lamborn, whoever happens to be down there. I'm Kevin Barnett. Thanks for being with us here from Oceanside. Deberg back at the line where she's been doing damage. Scoles, big high approach. Harward read it. Open net, not put away. Scoles, I like the aggression, but you probably don't like the result.
Yeah, it's the right decision, just barely misses wide. You know, that's one of those things I think you hate to make mistakes anytime as a player, but there are kind of good mistakes and bad mistakes, and I think that was probably a good one.
Scoles once again, Deberg up there to the net, pulls off. Would like to have seen Harward lace into that one. Instead, it's Betsi Flint showing you some arm fire.
Yeah, that was a snap right down the line. Betsi Flint, and I don't know if I'm just seeing things, Kev. Is there a little chippiness going on between these two teams? Kylie Deberg's put a block up or two and kind of given it an extra look.
And some voice, I think, as well, if you were listening closely while Casey was running the interview. We had Minnesota Nice with Tim Baumgren in the interview, and a little LSU fire happening, and there are some extra looks going on.
Minnesota Nice, I like that. There was Minnesota Fats and Timmy's Minnesota Nice.
Yeah, a little extra look at the end of that one. Scoles still looking to give a little extra from the service line. Up late. Oh, and now the fives are even getting aggressive. Watch yourselves. Like it. Good competitive fire here on a Sunday.
You got a lot of fire when the most potentially damaging thing to your rotator cuff is the celebratory high fives.
Heather Bansley back to serve. Check that, Hailey Harward. Way off. Scoles rolls it softly over the top and done.
That's a crafty little shot. Set got a little bit back off the net. She just placed that perfectly in between the two defenders for the Dream.
We're going to have Cook and Caldwell later today, and one of the things with that team on the men's side is I wonder the balance of aggression versus craft. Might ask the same question with Scoles and Flint as that ball gets called. Do you like them swinging more, or do you like them shooting more when it comes to the LA launch side of the sand?
Are we talking about the women's?
Women, yeah, this particular one, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love aggression in all forms, in all circumstances, Kevin.
Okay.
And I think, you know, Julia is certainly at her best when she's remaining aggressive. They're aggressive in their option plays and so forth. We saw that last night. I mean, everything was kind of going their way, but it was sort of a fortune favors the brave type of a situation.
careful you're not trying to sell me some crypto there and end up getting a lawsuit or two. Nobody up. Oh, dug back over. Scoles trying to reset. She does. Difficult. Inside out. And blocked. There's Scoles stepping up beyond 6 foot. But a net violation is going to take it away.
Wow, I thought that was Deberg that had followed through, but that reaction from Scoles would indicate that our officials have it correct, as they usually do.
Betsi Flint's going to argue it anyway with Petey Meyer, our R2 for this one. Oh, yeah, clearly.
Just that little left-hand tick of the net.
And a big switch there, 13-11 now.
You wonder if Betsi was maybe trying to get it on record that she feels as though they didn't net.
The April Ross complaint from last night, if you were with us, exactly. Scoles cracks it, but just wide. 14-11 set point for the Dallas Dream, who would love to pick up a victory here to go along with their men's side and try and power their way towards a potential appearance in 3 weeks' time at the championships.
Wow, that awfully close again. Even the mishits are getting dangerously close for Deberg. But this is kind of how quickly the Tides can turn in these shortened 15-point sets. I mean, just a second ago it was tied. Looked like the Launch were making a little bit of a charge, and a couple good plays from the Dream, and they've got a couple set points.
Well, yeah, that net violation looms large. What would have been tied at 12 instead became an opportunity for the Dream to close. They miss again, and it will be overtime if they can't get this one.
Yeah, similarly to what you were saying about the Launch, Kev, I like the good aggressive mindset from the Dream. Just barely missing that one, but it is the right decision. Just ever so slightly off on the execution.
So at 14-13, a little comeback from Flint and Scoles. We're going to have a timeout from Harward and Deberg. So both teams have used their complement of timeouts. That's one in this first set. Tim Baumgren, some words of encouragement, and then out. Good job. Way to leave on a high, Costanza.
Timmy's like, you know, a guy that wears a lot of cologne, and even when he's left, you still feel that cloud
that aura of
scent.
greatness.
Yeah, so he just does that with good vibes, though. Just in your box for a second, he leaves, the good vibes stay, and you get to soak him up.
It's no wonder I felt so good this morning. Had breakfast with Tim and Troy. So,
yeah, there's no better vibes to be had than with TNT.
They will be in action coming up next. Got the football out. Going to get the little warm-up going. Did he take Kelly Clay's football, or is that his own? That's the question.
I mean, he's throwing passes into the crowd. I don't know if he called which seat he was going to throw that to.
I know he left breakfast this morning to watch the Vikings and Lions, his beloved Minnesota Vikings. They were in a tussle with the Lions. Lots of sports happening here on a Sunday. Glad you're with us for AVP League week number 6. 2 more regular season weeks to go. 2 more chances for teams to push their cart into the championship. And the first set goes by with that service error, so give it to the timeout. 15-13, the victory for the Dream. Will they hold on? Will they close? Find out next. The AVP League is brought to you by Wilson, the official ball of the AVP.
How about a little magic, huh?
Deberg and Harward off to a Dream start once again. Second match in a row. They have won the first set 15-12. They ended up losing in 3 last night. But if the play of Kylie Deberg stays at this level, this one's going to be over quickly.
Here's a look at what she did from the service line. There's a lot of Deberg, and then Harward, as is often the case, there to clean up anything that gets past Deberg at the net. Nothing much was in that category, though, in set number 1.
Putting down a multiple of blocks, couple of aces. Deberg all smiles at the moment, and some extra little chatter, some extra noise directed vaguely at the other side, which is about all volleyball allows generally. And here you get the opportunity to participate in an on-court competition. This is the last one I would like to participate in.
Yeah, I would like to break down the technique here. We have one person doing it correctly and one person blatantly cheating.
Yes.
And the blatantly cheating person has appeared to be victorious in the musical chair dizzy bat combo.
Oh, the dizzy bat. Which would you rather do, dizzy bat or ride around on the teacups? That would be a horrible choice.
Yeah.
All right, look at our stats through one. 385, not quite the offensive output we saw in set one last night from the Dream, but it'll do.
Yeah, especially when you're out kicking your opponents by, 160 points there. 217 is something the Launch have to address and increase in a hurry. Not so easy when Kylie Deberg's up there patrolling, but if they want to kind of get back into this match and push it to a third, that's going to be something that needs to come up.
All right, Dr. Lamborn, what is your prescription for Betsi Flint and Julia Scoles to win this set and go to a third?
Yeah, I think they need to, try and impose their will as best they can from the service line. We saw it a lot last night. We know about the serve of Betsi Flint.
Two-time all AVP server of the year.
Yeah, you got to find a little bit of space, right? That is a good hard float serve, but it's right in Harward's lap. Somebody with Hailey's serve receive skills are going to kind of eat that up more often than not.
Yeah, and remember, Scoles missed a couple just out, got a hold of them solidly. What if those balls are in? What if she wins that joust at the net? Could have been a different result in set one. Scoles looking for a return on investment here with the service. That ball just tapped to the corner. And again, I watched some of those plays from Deberg and Harward and just think the future is bright.
Yeah, absolutely. If they can come with this level a little bit more consistently. We talked about that being a big factor in this match, and they were certainly the more consistent of the two teams, certainly at imposing their will in set number one.
High line. We've been seeing that for a long time. Betsi Flint, of course, multiple-time champion on the AVP, 2015 newcomer of the year when she was just joining. Won 7 times on the AVP tour, including a couple of Manhattan Beach Opens. A service. And it's not the flashiest serve, but it has always been effective.
Yeah. Well, she's usually so good with location, and that is what this is here. Kind of gets it high, gets it to curve. Gets Kylie thinking about it, letting it go incorrectly that time.
And then going short. There will be no attack there. Flint runs down the shot. She'll take a cut. Scoles composes herself and goes to the line. 6'4", playing again, but it's Scoles who eventually wins the extended rally.
Yeah, and you love the relentless effort from both sides there. Hailey Harward just scurrying around, picking up everything, but no quit on the side of the LA Launch. If at first you don't succeed, Kevin.
And that was kind of a weird slap back there, and then Scoles finishes it off. Good shot here with Betsi Flint at the line of Cora and husband.
I call her Mini Betsi.
Mini Betsi, looks just like her.
It looks just like her.
As opposed to you calling one of the Russian middle blockers Mega Reese back in the day. If you had taken my oldest son and made him gigantic, you would have gotten a 6'10" Russian.
That's right, Mega Reese. I forgot about him, but that was a great call.
That's 2004 action right there, 20 years ago. All right, Deberg into the block of Scoles. So a little reversal of fortune already here in the early moments of set two.
Yeah, I'm always curious. There's kind of no answer to this question. It's really hypothetical. What happens, when a team plays so well in set number one and then they come out and just they seem to lose a little bit of their fire, a little bit of their touch. There's another service ace from the LA Launch, and kind of, I don't know, the wheels just come off the bus sort of inexplicably.
Lalanche applying the pressure here, 7-2, and the timeout taken by Harward and Deberg. right away. Service pressure and aggression, the same things that Dr. Lamborn had prescribed. Well, they have entered the conversation here in set 2. Let's go find out what Casey Patterson's been up to here. Case?
Hi guys, here with Ryan Wilcox, Tri-Born's new partner. Ryan, you found success early, Virginia Beach win, right? It's always a special moment. How did that feel getting that when you're just, first starting to play on tour?
Yeah, it's definitely a good little confidence boost, I think, especially just being our first tournament together. And it's fun, just kind of, especially a tournament like that, just kind of getting to go out there and just see what we can do. And so, yeah, it was great that we could accomplish that. But, working towards the next, the heritage events next. So, yeah, good.
Yeah. I mean, playing's a grind. You got that legacy coming from Weiss. So you got that gritty volleyball mentality. What's hard is navigating the playing side and then also everything else that goes around being a professional athlete. I heard you just signed with a new management agency and you're probably excited about that.
Yeah.
How do you think that's going to help your career going forward?
Yeah, I'm really excied about that. Shout out Empu and A-Game Management. I'm stoked. Yeah, it's really helpful just to be able to allow me to focus on just the volleyball. Obviously all that other stuff is necessary and super helpful to, build my career moving forward, but it just allows me, like I said, to really dial in and do the stuff that I want to do with volleyball and working out and keeping my body right and all that good stuff.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than you training to go side out, but then having to think about all that other stuff. It's such a annoying side of that, even though it's necessary. So having help with that is huge, and Empu's the man, so you're fine. He's dialed. He's ready to go for next year.
All right, no one wants to have to side out then sell solar later in the day.
That felt a little specific.
Harward, not enough. Nearly had it 8-3. The Launch continue their domination here.
That was a nice crisp cut shot from Betsi Flint there. Harward patrolling in the region, but the accuracy and the pace of that shot, what gets it done?
So Scoles back to the line. Halfway through her college career, went from the UNC indoor side, where she was the ACC Freshman of the Year, over to the beach side after suffering a concussion that really put her in a bad headspace for quite a while.
So to speak.
Yeah, yeah, literally. Said she battled anxiety, depression, thoughts of suicide during that time, and came out stronger on the other side.
Oh, wow, that's a bad concussion. I didn't realize that was one of the fallouts.
Deberg trying to get back in this one. Misses. So why is this, Rich? Yesterday, 15-12. Dream get the victory over the Brooklyn Blaze, Cannon and Kraft in the first set. Then they come out and lose the next 2 sets. Why have we seen so far a similar pattern here?
It's hard to pinpoint, right? You never know kind of what the inner workings of a player's mind are. I suspect, as we see that call go against Lalonge, I suspect that sometimes, especially when you're a younger player, you may get ahead of yourself a little bit. Hey, we're playing great, and you kind of look towards the finish line maybe a little bit more than you should. You lose sight of what's right in front of you, which is the next play and the next play and the next play. And so being able to sort of narrow your focus and kind of be in the present, as cliche as that sounds, sometimes I think is the answer.
Knuckled over the top there for the winner. As you mentioned, on the Dallas Dream side, 1-4 coming in. They have gone 3 twice. In each of those, they have won the first set and then lost the next 2. Flint dig, shooting it, Harward diving, fully airborne, and then missed the return.
That was a tremendous set. Hailey trying to chop that one down the line. Shot we've seen her make so many times, but just missing the mark. And it is, it's so confusing, right? We keep trying to come up with hypothetical answers, but why things can go all your way seemingly in one set, and then once the scoreboard resets, they can go all against you at times. It's confounding.
Well, certainly your opponent matters. What your opponent does matters. You're not playing against our sisters of the poor. Although they had a very good team back in 2019. They were formidable, but since then, really not to the same level.
They were a little lax on the fundraising.
If only that bake sale had gone better. So Deberg and Harward are going to have some work to do in the third set. Not only to win the set, but just to grab the momentum first. It's getting away fast. High line the call. And good hard shot from Deberg, the winner.
Yeah, and again, if I'm the Dallas Dream, that's kind of the self-talk I have going right now is let's focus on the point in front of us. Let's see if we can't generate some momentum towards this third set, because we know how vital it is, but we can't kind of extend our vision too far out front.
How about a moment like that? Take your service. It is the one closed chain skill in the game. Go ahead and execute for a point directly. Third ace now for Deberg in the match, first of this set.
Closed chain, meaning you want to explain that to those of us who aren't as smart as you, Kevin?
Well, every volleyball skill generally depends on someone else making a move before you make your move, as it was there with the dig. You're either responding to your opponent or being asked to play a ball that your teammate just played. Whereas in the serving aspect of the game, you initiate the action with the toss, you complete the action with the serve itself. You're not relying on a set or a dig to then make your play. Hence the closed chain. Cut, out of bounds, missed, and this second set is about to be a closed chain also. We'll be opening the chain for set 3 shortly.
And this match has the potential, Kevin, to be off the chain.
It could be, with the right kind of attacks. With the physicality of Scoles and Deberg, certainly, and the defensive skills of Harward and Flint. Harward bangs it through. Second set point.
Yeah, and I think the recipe is very similar for both these teams. It just, as is very often the case, comes down to who executes better, right? Aggression, you see that good, hard swing through the hands of Scoles from Harward that time.
Big jump serve right on Scoles. Long set hit through the block, and the second set is history. A fine response as the women of the LA launch issue their second 15-8 beatdown in a second set. It was against the A team last night to close out the match. Here it extends us to a third. We'll be back for the third and deciding set. More Dream and Launch coming your way.
Yeah, baby, that is right. It is time. Ladies and gentlemen, I could not be happier to be right here, right now. We're in Austin, Dallas, Texas, for San Diego. Get involved and have a reaction out here.
We said before, you get involved if you come out to an AVP. This is maybe how you do or don't want to get involved. Depends on the health of your knees. The AVP Derby is my favorite new interstitial game event.
Do we call that the Donkey Derby just to keep it alliterative like the team names?
We could. We could. I think it's just the Derby. These young men really putting forth maximum effort. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. We're in action here on a Sunday, week 6. Well, week 7 is coming your way in about 6 days' time. It's going to be the New York Nitro, who are already qualified for the championship with the Palm Beach Passion. The Austin Aces, perhaps a surprising team this year, really gotten a roll over their last couple of events, playing against the San Diego Smash, who are trying to salvage whatever's left of 2024.
Somewhat local team, and at just about an hour up the road at the Honda Center, so they should have plenty of fan support, and they're likely going to need it, like you said, kind of in salvage mode for the season.
Set number 3 about to get started between the Dallas Dream and the LA Launch. The LA Launch lost the first set. Flint and Scoles 15-13 to the serving and blocking of Hailey, Harward, and Kylie Deberg. They responded in the second set with a 15-8 victory, keyed by aggressive hitting and excellence from the service line. A look at the stats so far. That hitting percentage has shrunk for the Dallas Dream as we get set 3 underway. This set to 15, win by 2 will decide who is victorious. The LA launch in a must-have situation.
Yeah, absolutely. They got to have this one, and you said it perfectly. I think service pressure and offensive aggression are going to be the 2 keys to this 3rd set and who wins this match.
Harward has gone back and forth between float, serve, and jump. This time it's a short float on Scoles. Results in a Harward dig. She tries to shoot, but comes up a little bit long. Doesn't pull the string back on it. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympic gold medalist Rich Lamborn and Olympian Casey Patterson on the sidelines. We're glad you're with us here from Oceanside. Deberg seeing service again in a high set. Just inside, she rips it for the winner.
Scoles thought about the pursuit, but decided against it, probably wisely so.
There is a good amount of runoff area around the court, but it's not infinite. Scoles a little bit tight against the big block of Deberg, and she goes with a little bit of craft over the top 2-2. And that's not Meg Craft, who we just saw in the background moments ago.
Yeah. Meg does not have the patent on the knuckle cutty just yet.
The Brooklyn Blaze will be in action later against the Miami Mayhem, and the LA launch right now trying to close out this 3rd set. Knuckles over is good from Deberg.
And that's a nice luxury to have. That set getting a little close, but when you're 6'4", you can go up on those tight sets and just knuckle them over the top like we saw from Deberg.
Scoles right to the back line, caught a hot pocket and gave out a souvenir.
And again, that's that good offensive aggression, because that was, you know, less than a perfect situation. You can see Betsi having to run through to the outside of the court. So that's a perfect ball. Keeps Julia in rhythm for the put away.
Scoles also alternating. What do you think is the thought process there if you're a jump server to then go to the float serve?
Yeah, I'm not sure. You know, sometimes you're feeling it, sometimes you're not feeling it as far as rhythm goes from the end line.
This woman's been in rhythm. Kylie Deberg. Pass, middle attack. Harward with a chance. She puts it away. That'll keep Deberg at the line. Sometimes good to get one underneath your belt too as a server, and then really lay into the next one.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think, you know, you have to kind of stick with what's been working, and if you're not feeling it, like you said, kind of smooth 1 or 2 in until you generate a little bit of rhythm.
Woo, beautiful dig. How about the payoff? Flint is there, way off the net. Betsi. Better opportunity here for Harward. Checks down, looks for the hands, and misses. We've seen a couple of opportunities go past the Dream.
Yeah, those digs are so good. It's like a master class in defensive positioning and kind of technique. She just holds that platform, really absorbs all that pace. But then I'd love to see her take a cut at that transition set instead of trying to guide it up the line.
Putting it right on the line, this time on the right side, is Harward.
Yeah, great response. Frustration management, always a big key in any of these matches, right? Especially when they're tightly contested.
Harward has won on the AVP Tour, Fort Lauderdale 22, Denver 2023. Picks that one up down the line. Deberg turns and terminates. 7-4. They got one of them back.
Yeah, it's so easy to sort of Monday morning quarterback, right, when shots don't go down. But I really think, especially when you get into third sets, you have to stick with your strengths. You have to lean into your strengths. And the power game for Scoles, certainly her strength. So you got to kind of go that route. There's a good look at it right there.
Well, it's always interesting. I think there are hero or zero plays where you're taking an extreme chance and either it looks amazing or people are asking, why would you do that? But then you accurately pointed out earlier, there are plenty of plays where you like the risk taken, that you're making a good choice. It's just a miss in execution. And many times a slight miss.
I mean, that's a tremendous swing. Kylie Deberg. Oh, yeah. Julia, I think, wants a double call. That looked fine to me.
Side switch, third set. One of these teams is going to come up with the victory. For the LA Launch, it would mean that they stay in playoff contention. 8-5 here in the third. They split the first two. LA Launch had all the momentum coming out of the second. Kevin Barnett alongside Rich Lamborn as the men get ready for their upcoming match. We have Casey Patterson on the sideline. Kylie Deberg has been tremendous from the service line. From this side in particular, nearly another ace. She has 3 in the match, and now she adds to her block total as well.
Yeah,
Deberg, one of the big young talents in the AVP.
That's Deberg start to finish there, isn't it? She goes sideline with a tough jump serve. Julia Scoles passes it perfectly, but Kylie there to shut her down.
That's a closed chain play.
Yeah, that's right.
Right there by Kylie Deberg. Those are not guaranteed, but they are executable. 9-5 timeout called now by the LA Launch. You get a single timeout. It's always interesting to see where teams use it. Is this one getting away from the Launch? Is a potential AVP Championships appearance getting away from the LA Launch 2 during this match? Every team split yesterday, going 1-1. Launch included in that. It was a victory on the women's side and a loss on the men's. If this trend continues, they're going to need to hope that that happens in reverse. It's a tall task for Tim and Troy as they face the as of yet unbeaten Andy Benish and Miles Partain, the Olympic duo. Third set action, the Dallas Dream facing the LA Launch on the women's side. First of 4 matches on the day from Oceanside. We split the first two, 15-13, a close one. The Dallas Dream on the strength of blocking and serving win the first. The second keyed on the LA Launch's aggression at the net and service line success. Responded, and now here in the third, Kylie Deberg has again put a ton of pressure on the attackers for the LA Launch. Kevin Barnett alongside Rich Lamborn.
Yeah, it's been a back and forth battle, and the Dallas Dream have come out in this third and really been the ones that have been able to impose their will from the service line, in particular Kylie Deberg laying into the Launch and forcing them to press a little bit, it looks like, at this point.
10-6. Are the Launch running out of time? Jump serve or float serve. Harward's done both. Float coming. Scoles driven deep, goes to the right. Ball is way too tight. Doesn't matter.
It's a little bit of a rare miss from someone as good defensively as Hailey Harward, I think. When that set gets tight, you got to kind of get more to a center field type of a position, especially with someone as big as Deberg in front of you. You know there's not little angles to be hit.
Scoles with the block, and here come the Launch. 2022 AVP Rookie of the Year back to serve once again.
Just trying to be a little bit too cute there. It looks like almost a wiping knuckle shot attempt from Harward.
Yeah, that one's going to go down as an error, and now at 10-8, the Dallas Dream are going to be the ones off the three-point run out of the timeout called by the Launch, who are calling their own timeout. So both teams using their complement of timeouts. And Scott Davenport hoping to impart some advice to his Dallas Dream side. There's a look at Andy Benish, who has yet to begin his warm-up. That can only mean that Miles Partain is somewhere with a band getting ready. Right next to him.
A band and some indoor specs.
There is the men's team off an appearance in Paris. Played the very first match of the Paris Olympic Games. course, every team arrives at the Olympic Games with dreams of gold unfulfilled as of yet, but Benish and Partain, if they stay together, looking like the #1 hope for 2028 on the American side. That second spot is wide open, as is this set now, as the LA launch trying to continue their comeback. Do not out of the timeout there, 11-8.
And that is a nice shot from Kylie Deberg. We've just seen her detonate angle after angle throughout this match when she's gotten an offensive opportunity, but that really sets up an easy roll shot down the line.
Scoles to the net, and there was one of those hard ones that was missing earlier.
Now that a little bit of an easier chance as that serve kind of hit her right in the breadbasket. She didn't have to move too much. Earlier we saw Deberg kind of able to move her to her sideline, disrupt her approach a little bit.
Nice reach there, using all of her 6'4" frame.
And again, the little bit of feast angle and linger at the net and kind of look at the opponents. A little bit of chippiness to go along with this good three-setter.
Some nice rivalries are good. We like that. Scoles has been the target. She'll go short once again. Well, she's been really good with a lot of her shots. Seems like on the power moves is where she's encountered some problems with errors and blocks.
Yeah, that was good decision making that time. I think the set was maybe a little bit lower than she needed it to really wind up on it. She was able to curl it over the top.
Solid side out there. They're 2 away. You mentioned that the confidence earlier, the kind of roll. It looks like it is on the Dream side at the moment.
Yeah, and that's always the challenge, right? When things aren't going your way like they were not for the Dream in the second set, how do you kind of maintain that confidence? How do you bolster yourself back up?
Well, you can do it from the service line again. That wasn't the best toss, and Deberg made the best of it. 14-10, match ball. What a serving start to the day for Kylie Deberg.
Yeah, I mean, that's next to untouchable. Just tucks that right inside the sideline.
A little bit further in front this time. She'll lean into it and hit too much of it over the top. 14-11, second match ball.
You can get away with that when you've got 4 match points in hand, I think.
Looking for a side out in the wind. Scoles takes the on-2, and here they come again. They had a bit of a rally when they were down in the first set. They came up just short at 15-13 to the launch. Stretching through 3 set points. This is the third here for the match. Gone. An unfortunate end to what was an entertaining match. 15-12. Deberg and Harward keep their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, it's kind of what we expected, what we talked about a little bit, offensive aggression and service pressure, and that really went in favor of the Dallas Dream in both of the sets that they were able to win, and that gave them the match, and an important win at that.
So smiles all around as they pick up their second victory on the season. Kylie Deberg with probably her best league performance of 2024.
It was very good, and yeah, helps their team out a lot.
You see Mark Sherman wrangling the winners. High fives all around for the women in green and blue. Let's go to Mark.
We're just going to scooch it right over here. Yes, what a match. That was a long match, and you guys got it done in the end. Kylie Deberg, I believe you had back-to-back aces. You had another one in the third. You finished the match with an ace, real aggressive serving. What is it like attacking? I know a little history with that team. You guys have always had some battles, so you were getting excited for that match, I could tell, right?
Yeah, it's always so fun playing them. They play with such fire and energy, and I love playing those games.
Yes. And they're very, very fun to watch. Hailey, you've been a player since your college days that has had that fire, that has had that emotion, that intensity. What do you do to build up that intensity before the match?
I like listening to music.
What kind of music?
It's usually some worship/rap.
Worship/rap. Rap, like rap worship or like both?
There's both. There's separate. It's beautiful.
That is fantastic. I love that. I'm going to try that out. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Hailey and Kylie for the Dallas Dream getting the hard-fought victory.
The Dream put another opponent to sleep. A solid victory keyed on that service of Kylie Deberg. A couple of middle aces, a couple of wrist away aces down to the line, and in the end it was a long serve that went too far. Next up, a men's match. Dream and launch, tall task for the launch, another must-have. Tim and Troy have to come through. For Rich Lamborn, Casey Patterson, I'm Kevin Barnett. We'll see you back with the men of the Dream and the launch.